All right. So this one right here, WY, let's make that a little bigger. That's not a little bigger, but is the mid-segment. So what that means is what? Yeah.
It starts at the midpoint of each of the sides.
Okay, sure. These are midpoints right here and right here.
Yeah, and it's half of the bottom.
Okay, so this thing right here is half of this thing. So automatically, and these are nice, easy numbers, I'm going to set this one equal to 60. Because 30 times 2 is 60. Okay, so subtract 10 from both sides, and x equals... Good? Everyone's like, I got one right. Alright. Very similar picture down here. Notice the difference is they're not talking about these pieces. So I shouldn't be doubling anything. This right here is a... sorry about that. This right here is a midpoint, which means that this piece is actually equal to this piece. And so x equals 7. Okay? Now, I want to be careful because this is something that often happens. Notice this does not say find the value of RS. Okay? On the other one down here, it doesn't say find the value of RY. But sometimes that is the case. So, as we're doing this, one of the things I want to mention is make sure tomorrow, I'm not saying this to scare you or to trick you, but just make sure you're paying attention to what the question asks. Okay? I don't want you thinking so much like, well, this is what I did last time, that you get confused and you don't pay attention to the actual instructions. Okay? So just read carefully. Make sure they don't ask you. In this case, like, let's pretend I had asked you for RS, and a bunch of people are like finding X, and I'm like, why? That's there as a distraction. All you would have to do is say the answer is 60. Right? And some people go and find X, and I'm like, ooh, that's great, you got 50, and that's wrong. Because that's not what the answer is. Okay, you got the right process. Just pay attention to this. Okay? This one, there could be other options, so I want to be careful. But the best answer to write would be like this. Okay, so right triangle, you do it like that. All right, and the length of the legs would be 3, and so it says, the question says, give the coordinates. If you want to label them A, B, C, A would be 0, 0. B would be 3, 0, and C would be 0, 3. Yeah.
What if you just listed the coordinates? Like you didn't label them?
That's fine. I was just trying to be clear. I just want to make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But as long as you have those 3. Again, there's other ways to do this, so I want to be careful. Yeah.
What if you did it with letters? Like instead of 3, I did it like you did in the other ones where I wrote like A.
Did you do 3 spaces?
Yeah, I drew it with 3 spaces.
Okay.
But I wrote
So I would, yeah, so here's, you don't need to mark it wrong. What I would say is because they give you this, you don't need to be general. Because you know what those letters are. It happens to be. So as long as you have the same letter here as you have here,
yeah, then
you're good. Okay. So if this says A and A, or
yeah,
B and E, or M and N, if you want to use your name, that's fine.
So like, I did it incorrectly, so I did the isosceles triangle, but I did it like across. I didn't do it right. Like, yeah, I did that, but like, but I had all the like, I had 2 of the coordinates correct, except like that.
You had this one correct.
And that's the one that I didn't have correct.
Oh. Okay, wait, so you did it like this?
Yeah. So I didn't have that.
So you had 3, 0 here.
Yeah.
And then what? You had 0, 3 here.
Yeah.
And then this one you had
0, negative 3.
Yeah. So I should
negative
have
3,
0.
0.
I should have had 0, 0 instead of negative 3, 0.
Huh?
So the problem with this one is that the length of this side and this side, which would be the legs, would not be 3.
Yeah,
Like this
maybe
distance is now 3.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at it in a minute. Yeah, you do have to be careful. This, like, doing it this way would actually be really complicated. It's doable. It's just not
Because
nice.
yeah, the sound lengths would be the same. They just wouldn't be
Right, but they have to be 3, and that's the tricky
that's what I
part.
forgot.
Okay. All right. In this one, perpendicular bisector. The perpendicular bisector points me at Z. It says the circumcenter. So Z is the circumcenter. Find the indicated measure. So WZ. WZ. They want this piece right here. All right.
Wait, I think it's to the.
Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. Sorry, this piece right here, which is the same as this one right here, which is the same as this one right here. Therefore, the answer is 5.
Yes.
No math necessary on that one. You're just acknowledging that the circumcenter is equidistant from all of the vertices. Okay. This one, ZY, is this piece right here. Again, everything is pretty much done for you because they gave you this piece. No, your answer is 9. Okay? Good? Alright, use the information diagram to find x. So this one, this is what I was talking about earlier, but if this is an angle bisector here and here, okay, then you have these two things and they should be equal, which means that x plus 12 should equal 2x plus 2. So, like I said, maybe this would be a problem that I could do differently, and maybe I do it backwards, where I give you this information and I say this is equal to this, and I don't tell you that these two things are equal. I put this value here and this value here, and you're supposed to recognize, hey, if these are the same, this has to be an angle bisector. So, subtle difference, but same intent behind the question. Does that make sense? All right. X equals 10. Okay. And again, that's what they wanted you to find. Then this triangle, Q is the centroid. And QC is 12. Should get 6. Okay. How do we get that?
2/3. I'm sorry, 2/3 of the
Half
whole thing.
of 12. Yeah. This piece would be the 2/3 one, which means this is the one.
I'm confused. I did something on this one, and I'm confused on how to grade. Do you want me to just ask you after?
Sure. Yeah, you can take a look at it. All right. This one, list the unknown sides. Did I skip one? Was it like here? Thank you. All right. On this one, QL is 6, and they want LC, which is the entire thing, so you have to be careful here. This is 12, which means the whole thing is 18. 2 ways to do that. You could find 12 and add these two together, or you take this one and multiply by 3. Okay? Easy? Okay. Alright. List the known sides in order from smallest to largest. So notice this one a little different, slightly, in the sense that you had to recognize what this angle is first. Okay? Which is
1.
sorry. Sorry.
I still would have cried.
Alright. And then it says from smallest to largest, so I just want to be careful that this does have to be the order. Now, I'm going to be mean right here, and you guys are going to be mad at me, but
Where's the line? The hat? Where's the hat?
They should. They should have all lines. Now listen, the reason for that is because they want you to list sides. Okay? If you don't have this, so again, this is talking about a number, a length. This is talking about a physical object. And so they're asking you to list the sides. Yeah. So if you didn't put the little things above, I would take off a half point.
Is it all wrong if you like switch two of them, or do you get half credit? Okay.
You know I'd mark you wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay if you were like CB. I just want to be careful.
No.
Okay. Alright. So this one, a triangle has one side length 10 and another of length 6. That's 6. Alright. So you take these two things, these are the lengths of your two sides, and we said for these ones, really simple, if you take your X and your alligators are going to eat to the right, you add this way, you subtract this way,
Oh, come on. X is greater than 4.
X is greater for less expression.
I probably wouldn't mark you wrong.
Okay, just try to write.
And I would probably write a note on there. Tomorrow, I will.
Okay.
Is that correct? Yeah. This is a specific, there's a situation where you do need to write them separately, and that's if they're going in opposite. These are like, these are ones like this, right? If you're thinking about a number line, it would be 4, I don't know, like 16, and you would open circle, bubble in like this. The ones that you end up writing separately are the ones that look like this, where they're going in opposite direction. Okay. So these we try to write together. It's called a compound inequality. Alright. Alright. So this one, notice the key here is you're recognizing that there is the two sides congruent. So you've got a side here, the sides going down the middle. If this is 110 and this is 45, how much is this one?
25.
Okay. 25? Okay. And so what you know is that you've got this side must be smaller than this side. Less than. Okay? Good? Ready? We're done. Yeah.
Okay, I got correct. I forgot how to do it.
So again, it's the side angle side.
Yeah.
They're not equals, right? And the not equal being that one of the angles is bigger than the other.
Oh.
And so since you've got this side matches this side is the same as itself, this angle is smaller than this angle. This is across. This is across. So you basically are comparing 25 and 30, which one's bigger, and using that to translate.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So on this one, very similarly, although I did think of putting this as like a trick question. I just thought that'd be fun, where like the sides aren't labeled, and then everybody just kind of puts a symbol because it says to. And the real answer is, I can't determine the answer if you give me. No.
I was thinking about doing that.
I thought about doing that.
That was awesome.
This is congruent to this. This is congruent to this. Sides are the same. I've got 50 here. Over on this one. Okay. 70 plus 64. 134. 180 minus 134. 46. Alright, so since this one is smaller, then this one must be. Yes. Okay?